Alright, how's everyone doing? So today I'm going to do another shave. A little bit of a, I guess, a soap review in a sense. I'm going to be using the Grooming Dept Mallard. This is the Earl Grey Gelato. What I've been doing, this might be like my fourth shave using this soap. It seems like it has softened up a little bit. I did kind of like bloom it for a brief minute. Today I'm using the Yaqi 24mm silver tip. This is the one that I've bleached. I guess I can kind of show you guys how the proto lather's been developing. I was about to shave using the GoPro, again trying to get some practice using the new camera, and I thought I had a charge, but I can't seem to get it to turn on. So this is my first time in a long time trying to do a shave video on the phone, so we'll see how this turns out. But I guess today we'll kind of get into talking about soaps, and I guess in a sense like kind of compromises you might have to make either as a soap maker or as a shaver. Maybe expectations that you would want to get out of a soap. I've been pretty happy with the performance of this. I think that my one criticism, which kind of isn't a surprise, I'm not in love with the scent. I will say though, I kind of have a feeling that if I keep using this, after maybe like 5 to 10 uses, I would assume the scent may come together a little bit more. The real reason why I wanted to get this soap, I don't remember how long ago, Mo had created this. I want to say it's quite a few years old. The waffle cone note really kind of piqued my interest, and there's quite a few different tea scents over my years doing wet shaving that I really liked, like green tea or Earl Grey. So I kind of thought, okay, this could be a nice scent. I do get the waffle cone scent. It's just maybe, as I said in my previous video, this soap formula has a lot of good things for the lather, for the skin. It just ends up making kind of a muddy soap base. And when Grooming Dept first came out, because Mo is, he's in the Bay Area, kind of near San Francisco. I'm in Southern California, near Los Angeles. I was really excited to be able to support him. So early on, I bought a good handful of his vegan formula soaps, and those all worked really well. But I kind of had the same complaint. The scents weren't, I better fill this up. Just use the water for a second real quick. I use a little, like a little plastic tub. Rather than filling up the sink or running the faucet to rinse off, I just fill up like a little basic tray. And then I'm able to, over the years, minimize how much water I have to use for a shave. Just go a little bit more. But yeah, this lather's been really nice. It takes up water really good. I think lately I've been kind of asking myself, when I'm shaving, like right now, this is just 2 days beard growth, is it better for me to try to overload a little bit? Because I think sometimes I don't like to skimp, but maybe I do use just a little product rather than using a little bit more. Part of that is I don't really use big brushes. Most of the brushes I have are 24mm knots or 22mm knots. And they're also not very dense, so it's not like I really need to use, I think this is good. But yeah, I mean, I do get the Earl Grey tea scent. I do get the waffle cone scent. It's just one of those things where I'm not sure if the scent, if it was stronger, if it would really change how it comes through on the soap base. So anyway, so today I've been kind of sticking with the winner, the Special Platinum, the Gillette's. This is a brand new one. I have my Plus base plate in titanium, the stainless steel and carbon fiber. This is different. I'm kind of looking at the phone camera and shading this way. Usually with all of my other videos, more recently I kind of look at the mirror behind me. But so we'll go across the grain first. Hope you guys have all been well. December seems to be a very interesting month so far. In SoCal, we got rainstorm right now. It's a nice change of pace as far as shaving to kind of go through some of the other scents that are a little more desirable in colder weather. I get a little nick. Leaves the skin real soft. If I put a little bit of water on, let's see. Yeah, it's I think slick enough for. That's something I don't really know a lot about. Is when you have certain shave lather, or a shave soap formula, and once the lather's been shaved off, some of them offer no residual slickness right after, and then once you put on a little bit of water, then it's real slick. I'm not sure how that works. I think residual slickness is something that I like. I'd prefer, I think the skin softening, the ability to kind of give you a little bit of that, cosmetic effect during the shave is probably what I prefer the most. But kind of getting back to just chatting about shave soaps. I was watching someone else's video yesterday and kind of reading through some comments on some threads on the forum, and it's funny to see it's kind of like when you just start to notice that maybe some of the patterns or the trends in shaving start to slowly change. I know Ken, since he's been buying a bunch of, Ken from Shave 326, we'll go against the grain now. Same base plate. Ken's been trying a couple of these new Uomo shave brushes. And he had made like a comment, like, I wonder where the trends in the new shave brush releases, if like the density of Badger brushes will change, if we're going to go back to seeing, like knots minimally bleached. But specifically, this kind of comment that I'm making is referring to, rotation of soaps. you know, how many soaps do we have. And like a lot of the guys that, you know, I've known or, you know, I'm friends with in the shaving community, you know, that will say that we have, you know, experience because, you know, we've bought and tried, you know, a couple hundred soaps, you know, 1,000 soaps. And I think there is some merit to that. I just think that through my more extended use, you know, with say like SV is the one that I've probably used the most, you know. And so like to give you guys an example, I think last year, during the first year of the pandemic, I was really using SV Colonia a lot. So every once in a while I might have switched the soap up, but to give you a pretty fair number, I might have used the Colonia SV soap like 20 times in a row. So although I have the option to, you know, rotate, I just didn't. I enjoyed using the same soap. So for me, there's something to be said about, you know, it's one thing to buy and to kind of like do test lathers with X number of soaps, but I don't know how much experience that really gives you on that number of soaps versus being able to say, like, I've gone through and finished, you know, a higher number of soaps. I mean, I'm not trying to come across like I'm telling people that they don't have experience. I just think that I kind of had that opinion because, you know, it's at some point, you know, early on, you know, maybe like 2-3 years in, I had 200 soaps in my, you know, stock or whatever. You know, when you think about when you have that many soaps, how much, you know, dedicated time does each of those individual soaps get for a, you know, proper assessment or a review? You know, even like this is the 4th time I'm using it. I've liked the results that I've gotten each time. It's just harder to be able to, like I said, kind of do the comparisons. You know, and maybe the other thing to kind of say is that I'm sure that some people are probably better than, you know, me or better than others to be able to say, with less uses, they can give a proper comparison, you know, with merit. So I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of my thought is you can throw a number around of how many soaps you've tried, but one of the guys in the soap threads, Buki, he had made a post, I think, today or yesterday about trying to use some of his soaps a little bit more continuous. And I think he was looking through some of the done and dusted threads where people post what they finished. And I think I've mentioned this before. So I finished, just kind of like off the top of my head, I finished a couple of Mystic water soaps, maybe even 3 of the full-size pucks. I finished quite a few different Mike's natural shaving soap pucks, quite a bit of Bear Man white label. I think there was quite a few different Chun Fung Sing and Razor Rock soaps that I finished, but as far as, yeah, SV is probably the one that I've finished the most pucks of. I have it all written down. I think a fair assessment is probably close to 10, and then I could probably easily get to 15 totally finished shave pucks of SB sometime in the next 3-4 months, because there's quite a few that are like 90% finished. Tundra Arctica 4.1 I'm almost done with. I just threw on some cocoa butter right now. Cosmo I'm almost done with. What's the other one? Mana DC Chilia 4.3. So what was the point of, again, sometimes when you're using the soaps continuously, it's not as fun. I know my buddy So Sharp David, he's kind of, made comments before like, just have fun rotating. And I get what he's saying, but there's just times where sometimes having too big of a rotation, there's something that's not appealing. It's not fun. I think a big reason why I have, as I say, seasons of, using, and then like last year and this year, I had seasons of buying. I almost didn't buy this Grooming Dept. It was more out of a purchase to support Mo and, to kind of see how his new formula is. I like it. I'm not, I don't know what to say. I'm not in love with it, but I'm not disappointed by the purchase. I think, what are some of the other ones I bought? I bought quite a few different Ethos soaps. I've bought a few of the PAA CK6. So it's not like that I only have one way of doing the shaves. I just think that it's nice to spend some time kind of going through your collection of soaps and just really sticking with it for a little bit, and then also having moments where you can kind of indulge and say like, what can I purchase now? Every once in a while, I'm sure people see those posts in the forums of. By the way, I'm throwing on some Copalli Aftershave. People saying like, I've been in the hobby, I just haven't been on the forums for a little bit. What would be some new artisans that I can consider? And that's kind of what I'm talking about, is like if you've been out of it for a little bit, what would be a good option to revisit the market and yeah, just like I said, to indulge kind of your curiosity of where things are at in the market now. Mike's Natural Shaving Soap is just a good kind of baseline for me to say that when you don't change formulas, I don't think it's necessarily that you're behind the times. I think that you just have to kind of stick with your gut and have a good quality product and not feel like you're going to be behind the times if you're not updating and changing your formula. This is one that I wouldn't mind having, the aftershave. This is the EDT Mysore Santal from Ethos. This is good. It's kind of a creamy, a nice sandalwood. I'm not somebody that's tried a ton of real sandalwood to the point where I feel like I can give you guys a real big in-depth type of scent, but I feel like I'll probably get a lot of use out of this, using this in conjunction with different shave soaps, like Mirto di Sardegna. That's got a lot of musk and kind of moss to it. That's EDP, or what is this, EDT? Yeah, EDT. Trying to think. So yeah, like I said, if anyone hasn't like finished a shave soap, I don't think that you maybe just challenge yourself to do like 2 or 3 extra shaves with the same soap or the same setup, just to see how it feels. There are a few people that I do see every now and again that still go through, they only use one soap at a time, and I think that's cool. I think the good thing about that is you can really dial in how to use that product, and you can judge how much mileage you get out of it. That's kind of the hard thing. When you have a big rotation of soaps, it's harder to track, I think, unless you're really detailed with your note keeping, how many shaves are you really getting out of each shave product? And then the only other thought that I had is like, if anyone ever remembers seeing posts about like Mitchell's wool fat, they'll say like if they haven't used it in a long time, after it gets used through that drying stage, they sometimes will say that the puck will crack. And that's not something that happens when it gets used continuously. So there are some shave soaps, and I think like the makers that have the thought that there's maybe some, better results that you get from continued use rather than rotating through different shave soaps. I definitely still have a large stock, and over this last year and a half purchasing some more shave soaps, my stock has gone up. But I definitely did spend like a good 3 to 4 years where I wasn't really buying anything at all, with the exception of like the new SV release here and there. But I don't know. There's still plenty of good shave soaps. I don't really, for me, buy into like there's a best shaving soap. I just know for me, I don't like the ones that leave my face as dry. Yes, of course, I can use, a balm or whatever. That's always kind of been a attribute of a shave soap that I prefer. I want something that is going to be a little bit fatted to the point where my skin feels soft after that final rinse. And although I still use, the cocoa butter every single time, like I can put a little bit more on right now, even after I put it on and did the aftershave splash. But yeah, like I said, I'm hoping that sometime in the future I'll take a stab at doing some shave soaps myself. I just have other things that are a little more important, so that's kind of on the back burner. I've got a lot of goals in the new year for my ceramics. I'll show you guys this one piece before I hop off. Getting that, I've got that silver tip hair and the 2-band hair that I've had for years. I should get that taken care of next year and made into my first knot. So, like real quick, final thoughts on the Mallard Earl Grey Gelato. I get the scent. The scent is there. It's, I think, more for me. It's not that it's not strong enough. The base ingredients, I think, have too much of an influence for me to really enjoy this. But like I said, I have a feeling if I were to use this 5-10 more times, I think that the scent would come through a little bit more. So take my notes on the scent with a grain of salt. So one of the things that I've been kind of playing around with is, it's kind of like a here, I'll pour this out because this is the one that I've had for a while. This is a smaller porcelain dish, and it's like a loading puck. So if I had something soft like Ethos or PAA, I could scoop and smear some of the soft shaving soap in there. This would be my loading brush, rather than like poking the badger knot into the soft tub. So this one's deeper and it's wider. This one's, I think, a little over, like just slightly over 5 inches wide, and it's also like a brush rest. This one's deep enough that if you wanted to soak your brush in there like that, you could. But like because I'm a potter, people have always asked, like in the community, like, do you make shave bowls? And it's like, well, I make a lot of bowls, but I'm not someone that bowl lathers. And as far as when I see people that make stuff with like the different textures, there's certain ways that I think are probably better or safer, like on a natural hairbrush, to agitate and aerate the lather. But a lot of the time, I don't really care for all of the texture. I prefer just lathering on a smoother surface. So I think you guys, in a sense, would understand. Like, I make bowls. You can use them for a lather bowl if you want. I probably won't ever make a textured bowl. So this is something that's more specific to, like, when I make it, it's for my, like this is where I pour out my bloom water. So like today I poured a little bit of water on top of the Grooming Dept, the soap, and then I pour it out in there, and that's what I dip my brush in. So yeah, like I said, just I have other things that are going to take a higher priority over making some shave soap, and that's not something that I'm going to make a business, you know, on a whim. It's just going to be more like a little side project. So anyway, longer video than I wanted. I'm still kind of getting used to the shave setup. You guys will probably see another video sometime later this month, but hope you guys are all doing good and enjoying your shaves. I'll catch you guys sometime soon, all right?